Hi, I'm Ron Modell, and I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you why music is not only one of the most pleasurable things in our lives, but also why it's so important to keep it alive and well, particularly in all of our educational institutions as well as our society. For 3 years, I wrote a monthly column for an internationally known music magazine called The Instrumentalist. One of those years, I had the great honor to interview Quincy Jones, well-known Hollywood producer, composer, and arranger. And during that interview, we both discussed a survey that had just come out, which indicated that 80% of all high school students across our wonderful country, or 80% who were involved in a music program in some way, were never involved in any gang-related or criminal incidents. The band room, the orchestra room, the choir room, the marching band room, that was the gang's hangout, many times on the weekend during football and basketball season. As a father of 6, a grandfather of 8, and a great-grandfather of 2, I can't count the many hours that I held one of those children in my arms when they were in great discomfort, who weren't immediately soothed by the human voice singing a very soft and reassuring melody. Music has that power. A dear friend of mine, aged 77, who had not played his trumpet for over 50 years, decided to take it up again. And it has lit him up like a Christmas tree. Music has that power. He practices every day, doing all the lessons and things that he did as a child, cashing in on all of those private lessons and that time spent practicing as a youth, just so he can go once a week to his local municipal band. How wonderful at that age to still feel for music as we do. My own personal experiences with the power of music goes back very much in my mind to the year 1973 when I was teaching at Northern Illinois University as director of the NIU Jazz Ensemble, a predominantly white band at the time, inviting our black choir to do a joint concert with us. During the first few days of rehearsal, I could feel the uneasiness in the room. In fact, there was even a little hostility. But as we rehearsed, and as they started to make music together, it culminated with a glorious concert for 500 people who gave them a standing ovation at the end. And as I turned to look at the stage, it was one of the most exhilarating experiences in my life to see those members of the black choir and my jazz ensemble hugging and embracing each other and realizing they had just made beautiful music together. Music has no barriers. To conclude, I wrote an article years ago in the 60s when I was principal trumpet with the Dallas Symphony, professor at Southern Methodist University, adjunct professor. And I had been asked by the school musician, a famous music magazine at that time, to write on the topic of music education. And I thought to myself, there's nothing I could add that's not already been written. But the week before, I had read an article in Time magazine which showed that all 535 members of the United States Congress that year had been asked if they had had a musical experience during their high school time. And every one of them, 535, each said yes, and they were all positive experiences dealing with music programs. So you know that the rest of my article was a plea to the Congress to fund music education and live performance. Thank you.